The number 10 best assault rifle in Call of Duty Mobile right now is a unique specialist weapon, the Man of War with thermite rounds. There are two powerful reasons this makes the list. First, it is incredibly efficient at blowing up score streaks. Literally, it is better than an FHJ for destroying things in the air. Second, if an enemy doesn't have Dauntless or Flak Jacket, it's an automatic 2-shot kill from the burning damage. From the shooter's perspective, that's one of the fastest times to kill in the game, as you only need 120 milliseconds of tracking to secure the kill. My advice is to use this with another weapon via overkill. Swap to it when you need to deal with score streaks or a specific enemy, and you will dominate. Its unique utility is what earns it the 10th spot on our list. Coming in at number 9 is the KN-44. This is an incredibly efficient long-range 4-shot kill AR, but unlike your typical long-range options, it also has decent mobility. You're getting a 280 millisecond ADS time, 6.18 meters per second sprint, and 3.13 meters per second strafe speed, which isn't bad at all compared to an LK-24 or an Oden. And even with that mobility, it still has a 58 meter 4-shot kill range that's basically 100% consistent. But you can't have great range and mobility without a drawback, and for the KN-44, it's usability. The recoil isn't horrible, but it's not perfectly smooth, and the iron sight isn't super clear. This means it's harder to use its full potential compared to an easy gun like the Grau. The performance of this gun is a massive what if. What if you can't control it? Then you have an incredible passive AR that firmly earns its spot at number 9. Taking the number 8 spot is the LK-24, which you know is related to the KN-44. While the KN-44 trades stability for mobility, the LK-24 looks at mobility and says, nah, we don't need that, and puts everything into stability and usability. To judge this, we gave every weapon a usability grade. This is based on a combination of its recoil, its iron sight or red dot, its flinch, and its aim shake. In this category, the LK-24 is the gold standard. It's the only weapon in the game with a perfect 100 out of 100 score. Yes, its mobility is quite awful, but you don't need it. Why? Because you get 61 meters of consistent 4-shot kill range, and every single meter of that range is usable because of how incredibly easy this is to control. There isn't much else to say. The LK-24 is in a league of its own when it comes to ease of use. It is simply the best long-range AR in the game if it weren't for the Oden. Alright, at number 7 we have the DR-H. I know some of you might get mad at this placement, but let me explain it simply. Let's compare the DR-H to a gun like the USS-9. The USS-9 kills faster, has better mobility, and is easier to use. The only place the DR-H has a damage advantage is in a small, inconsistent window between 28 and 36 meters. Everywhere else, it's simply behind. On top of that, the mobility is heavy. We're talking a 6.3 meters per second sprint, 3.08 meters per second strafe, and the 2-second worst AR, only beaten by the BP-50, which has almost twice the fire rate. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a horrible gun. A 210 millisecond time to kill out to 36 meters is great on paper, but the USS-9 exists. Other ARs have much better mobility, and others have way better range. So, the DR-H is just, yeah, it's here at number 7. At the number 6 spot, we find the Peacekeeper. Just listen to this stat sheet. A 39 meter, 251 millisecond 4-shot kill time to kill. It has the mobility of an SMG with more than 4 meters per second of strafe speed and an ADS time under 220 milliseconds. You get 40 bullets in the magazine with a reload time under 1 second. And it has an incredibly low 0.38 flinch, meaning if you can't control the gun, nothing will throw your aim off. So why is it only at number 6? I'm not going to talk about it much more. You know the drill. The recoil isn't perfect. It's the classic story of the Peacekeeper. Statistically impeccable, usability not optimal. It remains the biggest what if in all of COD Mobile, and its raw potential lands it at number 6. Opening our top 5 is the Ram 7. And this is a tricky one because on one hand it's a superb weapon, and on the other it's a piece of garbage. When I picked this gun up off the ground in ranked, it feels like a laser. No questions asked. But when you look at these stats on paper, it's a different story. Its mobility is barely better than a Type 19. Its range is even worse than the Grau's. And its handling stats are pretty much just a copy of the Type 19. So why is it in the top 5? Simply put, I'm placing it here because of how exploitable this gun is and how incredible it feels to use. On paper, this gun probably should have been ranked down at number 9. But in a real match, it just gives you those balanced BP-50 vibes. Its phenomenal feel is what earns the Ram 7 the number 5 spot. Entering our top 4 is the Type 19, the default Flex AR. This gun is defined by its ease of use. It has an incredibly smooth and easy to manage recoil, a very low flinch of 0.42, and clean sights. Range-wise, it's solid, with a 31-meter force for a 214 millisecond time to kill, and it even has a potential 3-shot kill if you hit your headshots. Where it lacks a little is mobility, with a 5.8 meters per second sprint speed, a 262 millisecond ADS time, and a 3.45 meters per second strafe speed. But its magazine stats are alright, with 48 bullets and a decent reload time. Overall, the Type 19 has no real flaws. It is a reliable weapon no matter the map, the mode, or your mood. That all-around excellence is what places it at number 4. Making it onto the podium in the number 3 spot is the XM4, the more aggressive Type 19. Its range takes a small hit, with a 4-shot kill up to 28 meters and a 5-shot kill up to 39. But in exchange, you get noticeably better movement, a 229 millisecond ADS time, 6.1 meters per second sprint speed, and a 3.5 meters per second strafe. The recoil ramps up faster than on the Type 19, but it's still easy to master, and its flinch resistance is excellent at 0.3. This gun thrives on momentum. You're giving up that smooth, easy control for pure pressure, and in a meta that rewards fast, confident plays, that's a trade worth making. If you like pushing angles and starting fights, the XM4 is built for you. Taking the number 2 spot is the HVK-30, and the reason it's this high is fascinating. It only received one small hitbox buff to make its 3-shot kill more consistent. But that's not the real reason it's so dominant. The real reason is that everyone started using it again. See, the HVK struggles in a fast-paced meta against guns like the XM4 or VMP, but it excels in other slower fights against other HVKs. Its recent popularity has literally slowed down the pace of ranked lobbies, creating the perfect environment for it to thrive. I noticed this change of rhythm during my legendary push, and it's what bumped it from a top 3 gun to the number 2 spot. And the damage stats that make this possible are incredible. We're talking 181 millisecond time to kill up to 18 meters, 272 millisecond up to 44 meters, and an infinite 363 millisecond time to kill. A single headshot cuts the time to kill by 90 milliseconds. Its only real weakness is the small 28-round magazine. This thing is just way too good in the current meta, and now that people are using it again, you should too. And claiming the number 1 spot on our list, the best assault rifle in the game is the Oden. I could just say this: 145 millisecond 2-shot time to kill up to 25 meters, and an infinite 290 millisecond 3-shot time to kill. And honestly, that alone would be enough to justify its number 1 placement, easily the best without a doubt. But let's dig a bit deeper. Its mobility is terrible, yes, but that's actually a good thing here, as being slower helps you line up those devastating long-range shots. The recoil pattern looks rough at first, yet the low fire rate keeps it perfectly manageable. Overall, the handling feels great. The only real drawback is the 0.7 flinch resistance. Outside of that, it's simply the best. Even after multiple nerfs, nothing really comes close to the Oden. So, the Oden is the undisputed king of the assault rifles. But how does it stack up against the best SMGs, LMGs, and snipers in the game?